Good afternoon. This is Ben Horn. It's Friday. I'm here in Geraldton in my classroom. I'm just making a short video to talk a little bit about what we're doing next. Now, hopefully you will have some time to have a look at Moodle and do some work, maybe over the weekend, on your big writing project. So, the first thing I want to talk about is plot. Now, there is a page, Plot and Planning, on the Moodle website. And in that, it explains what I talk about, or what I want you to think about when we talk about plot. Now, you probably talk about plot of stories in school. You might talk about a plot arc, how a story starts on a quiet tone and then picks up, there's a lot of action in the middle, and then it drops off towards the resolution at the end. Now, in the writing we're doing, we're not necessarily sticking with any kind of set plot structure or pattern or arc. What I want you to do, though, is I do want you to think about a few things before writing your story, just to give yourself a bit of focus when you're writing it. So hopefully you've got your character sorted, you've really got a bit of depth to him now, you've asked him, her, you've asked them lots of questions, you've thought about the answers, and now you're going to start writing. But before you start writing, you just need to have a few little solid marks to mark out where you think your journey is going to go. So the first thing is, what is the character's goal or challenge? So what do they want to achieve? Is there something they want to do, or something they want to find, a problem they've got to overcome? Anything you like. But for a story to be good, it's great if there's a clear aim for the character. 2, how does it start? To make the writing easy, or this makes writing easy for me, is you just have to decide where your character is. What are they doing at the beginning of the story? And then you can kind of go from there. So I want you to think about that. What happens? Are there any big things that happen in the story? That's another thing to think about. Some of you mentioned in the WebEx meeting that you really like twists in a story, so what twists are there going to be in your story? And finally, how does it end? So when I say how does it end, you don't need an exact ending, but maybe do they find what they were looking for, or do they overcome their challenge, or do they not do that? Do they maybe do something else instead? Those are the things you need to think about. Now, I just want to be clear that when I talk about plot, I want you to have these things to start with. But when you start writing, if you really get involved in it and involved in your character, you may find that your character does different things. I know that sounds weird, but that often happens when you start trying to write in a creative way. So you may find you go a bit away from this, but it's good to have a plan to start with of where you think your story is going to go before you start writing. So what I'd like you to do now is get out a piece of paper and write down on that piece of paper what the character's goal or challenge is. How does the story start? Where? What situation are they in? What's he doing? What happens in the story, roughly? Main points? Any twists that you want to include? And how does it end? Once you've done that, and that's all detailed on the plot and planning section in the course, then go on to writing the story, and we're going to start writing. Excellent. I'll see you there.